Hello, how's everybody doing? This is Pierre Dur. Um, Things seem to be doing all right. Um, I I had some problem with my internet, with the Wi-Fi, and then I wanted to do some work on the computer because I'm doing another access program, but it's offline, and I subscribe to an online something Microsoft Online or something like that. It has to be online, but I have to ask them about it. But anyway, it's a problem because I'm doing two things. I got this internet problem, and then I'm trying to get my laptop up. I haven't had it up ever since I moved here. But what I'm going to say is that I'm starting the Bible. Okay, the Bible, the YouTube on the Bible shows and will show evidence that it's not a Christian society, the ex-Jehovah Witness or the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. And from what I see, so I can't do the work on the Access program. But what I'm saying is that the first Access program, everybody who follows me, they understand it. But I did an Access program. The Access program will help me with this other program that I'm going to do. And it's going to be the charges, okay, against the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. We didn't have charges before. We didn't understand how we were going to do them. Like I said, when I did the Access program, I didn't know where it was going to lead. Sometimes you have to do things and you don't know which direction you're going into, but in order to get to the next direction, you have to do something that you know is right, but and then see the outcome. So what I'm saying is that the first Access program led to this outcome to where I can actually see charges. How can you make charges? First of all, you have to be an ex-Jehovah Witness, and you had to have evidence that these things are real. And you can say if it happened to you, you know it happened to somebody else, of course. But you need the unique charges itself. How did I come up with the charges? The charges I came up with because I did this YouTube channel, and it teaches you so much because I've created things actually. Like for instance, I have different things that I've created. One thing I created was American yoga. Okay, the reason why it's important because it showed me how you put things together if you're interested in helping people. And it does help people, but you have to know so many things. I told you that one thing took me, I mean, on YouTube at least 5 years. But then I started seeing things that the way things go. Like for instance, you know, if you want to do something and you want to help people or you want to have a religion or you want to have an organization, it doesn't really have anything to do. It does have things, I'm sorry, it does have things to do with education and everything, but you have to have the ability in order to do it. And to have that ability, you need to have a lot of things. You have to have a lot of things, and one of the things are, do you want to help people or do you want to hurt people? Well, anyway, long story short, that let me see a window to where I could actually charge the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. That was one of the major problems that we had. We just had a lot of grievances. However, there is a unique way to pretty much do things that have been done wrong. And the first step I had to make was you had to have a charge. Well, what is the charge? Um, uh, can I say what the charge? Okay, before you can say the charge, because it's non-existent, you had to come up with something and put a name to it. And what I put a name to is, like I said, a soft kill, because you need to explain to them what's happened to the ex-Jehovah Witnesses, what's happening to the ex-Jehovah Witnesses. So I put a name to it, which I would tell them, since it's not existent, I'll have to say what I call a soft kill, okay? What is a soft kill? Well, a soft kill, I can tell them where I got the term from, and I made so many terms in this YouTube channel, so I know what I'm talking about. And how I can tell them personally how I came up with, I know it sounds silly, but I came up with soft kill from killing me softly. Okay, it was a term that sparked because I looked up what killing me softly means. I mean, before the song, it still was an expression. Okay, and I use that expression because it means something very emotional that you go through that you can't get help with. I mean, something that happened to you. This is something about what killing me softly actually means. And I put the definition of before, and it went along with soft kill, goes along with the definition of killing me softly. And it's contained, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it's something that happens to you from someone, and there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you could do is just observe yourself and go through it. Okay, so that's what killing me softly means outside from the song that you hear. So what I did is I changed it a little bit, and I call it a soft kill. What is a soft kill? Knowing that the things that happen to ex-Jehovah Witnesses are similar, and I put it in my YouTubes before, is similar, very much similar to discrimination when you're discriminated against, okay? It has the same kind of fabric, okay? And I can give you an example of a soft kill, like, it's actually, I got it from one of Frederick Douglass's book. He was an abolitionist. Okay, he used to be a former slave, and he ended up as an abolitionist. Of course, we know abolitionists in America, they were all different colors. They were black, they were white, you could be anything, just you were against certain treatment of people. But one of the things in his book, which I term as a type of soft kill, is if one of the slaves let's say they were deformed or something like that, or they really couldn't work. Maybe they could be retarded, maybe they could be autistic, they could be weak, maybe they could be blind or whatever. What they would do, and this actually happened, there was a girl, she was kind of crippled, and she wouldn't be, and they felt she would not be able to, be a slave. I mean, to work, you know what I mean? To make, as a normal slave would. And what they would do, and what they did to her, and I actually made an art picture of her because I was so touched by it. They just led her to the forest, and they put her in the forest, and she walked in the forest. And that's a drastic type of soft kill. I mean, not caring about what's going to happen to this person. Nobody could do anything. Nobody could do anything. They just would send you somewhere. It's like having a cat, because I had a cat one time, and I was moving, and I wanted to move, but I couldn't take the cat. And one of my friends said, just sit her off in the street, but I couldn't do that. So what I did, that would be a soft kill. Okay, well, not really for a cat because they can survive. But it's something like a soft kill because I don't know what's going to happen to her. So like that, the Jehovah Witnesses do that because they don't know what's going to happen to these people. And I know, like I said, God help me, because I would be like a soft kill. I would have been dead. I'm not kidding. I mean, I did not even realize the magnitude of being without your family, without anything, without your friends, without nothing. I never realized it, okay? I mean, I believed in God, and God connected to me. I mean, Thank God he just, I mean, I don't know, he just helped me. I don't think that everybody gets to be an ex-Jehovah Witness. I mean, some of them don't make it. I'm almost positive a lot of them don't make it. Probably most don't make it. I mean, we're talking about a lot of people who just been let off. Um, and they don't even worry. And I remember as being a Jehovah's Witness, they tell you don't say any, I mean, don't talk about or don't discuss this person. And you click in your head. And that's another thing too, is developing these type of people who can do that without any problem. I mean, I was like that too, to a certain extent. To where when they said don't talk about these people, it would be like click, okay? But some of them were my friends. They got disfellowship. I don't know what happened to some of them, but they said don't talk about them. So when they said don't talk about them, it clicked in my head not to even think about, are they going to need something? Are they going to need help? And not one Jehovah Witness will call them or get in contact with them. Some of them are lucky. I know a lot of lucky people in the organization, even in my family, to where they were disfellowshipped or everything, and their parents still kind of helped them, you know. But for the most part, there's a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses don't have that connection. They will let you go, like my parents, my family. They just let you go and not even thought about, you know, like what's going to happen to this person. I mean, you know, like I told you the experience of me going, I went to like France, and of course it was my problem, it was my fault, whatever, but I didn't get any help coming back. But the bad thing about it is that the consulate actually saw that problem. It was recorded because, you know, like my mother at first said, you know, I don't want to say the story back over again, okay? But anyways, it's in the past stories. But what I'm trying to say is that that's a soft kill, okay? Now, when I get into the Bible, how am I going? I have to do this. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to do this access program. I probably won't be able to start it because I'll be working so much. I probably won't be able to start it until maybe Friday or Saturday evening. I'll be able to start it. But what I noticed, and we're going to organize, because I already gave one YouTube on two things, on 2 charges or 3 charges, but I'm making the charges more definite. I got a message from my friend. She's very intelligent, which I have to think about. It's very important, which means that the work that I'm doing is actually timed. One thing about it is in America now, which people don't realize, is that they're not able to tell you a lot of things because there's so many people and so much information. From my conversation that I gathered with her, they just don't want you to worry about anything. Everything is like, don't worry about it. And they wait until you have to worry about it, you know? So this work that I'm doing on these charges is actually... it's actually timed, and I want it to be timed because it gives me the energy to start doing it and preparing it, because it's definitely a big deal. A lot of people don't realize it. According to what my friend says, it seems like I said, it's a time limit, okay? I can tell because I know her so well now. So the work that I'm doing, and a lot of people don't realize what I'm doing, but it is something really big. When you have charges, it's really a big deal. And I can't talk about the Bible yet, but what I'm going to say is that, what's I going to say? I wanted to say, from what I see is all of the things and all the avenues that I'm going to, it's opposite of a Christian, because I remember when I was trying to do a video, a lot of people listen to the videos, they know what I'm talking about, but I said I wanted to show a personality of the organization, and I wanted to treat it as if I was a psychiatrist or something like that, like what type of personality it has. But it was so deep, I didn't think I could go there. But now, with this program, with this other YouTube program with the charges, it shows a personality, and the personality it's showing me is like, it's really like a bad person. I mean, like, for instance, I'm trying to work on this Bible thing, okay? I'm doing it, actually. And the different aspects that I see, it's all, like, for instance, let me give you an example so you understand. Okay, like, there's one thing. There's a certain way to make a Bible, okay? It's just the way it is. God is not stupid. A lot of people think that he's stupid. This is one thing, okay? When you have a Bible, it's a translation, okay? So this is one of the things that I'm going to speak on as far as the charge is concerned. There's only a certain way to make a Bible, and everybody has to agree. If you're a Christian, you have to agree. So what I'm trying to say is that that's another part of their personality, is that they don't want to share. They don't want to work with other people. Why can I say that? Because first of all, there's only a certain way to translate a Bible. It's a translation. So if it's a translation and their Bible, and I'm going to check it to be sure, if their Bible says New World Translation, translation alone means you translated it. Just that one word, it shows something negative about them, because they can ask them, is your Bible translated? If they say yes, okay, it's a New World Translation. Of course it has to be a translation, because all the Bibles are translated from the same thing. But they're saying that their translation is different, which everybody's translation is different, but if they go outside the lines of translation, then that shows something negative about their personality. Like I said, there's a personality as if it was a person. So now I have to state, if everybody, because we all live on this earth together, if everybody comes together and say, okay, well, because you say, okay, we have these writings, okay, we have to translate. Just say, this is hypothetical. You have to translate from these 4 writings, okay? So everybody gets together, and are they saying that they're different from everybody else? Because let's say there's 100 different churches or whatever, or 100 different religions, and they go to this place, and they go, I want to make my translation. They go, okay, well, this is how we do it, this is how we do it, this is how we do it. And everybody comes together and they want these translations, and everybody works out with these translations. It's just factual. I mean, it's just working together, okay? Then you have another organization that comes by and they go, well, I want to make something from this translation. They're asking something that everybody uses that belongs to everybody. Okay, so they make a translation and they say ours is better. So what I'm saying is that would have to be something negative. It would have to be a lie, okay? Because they're saying that their translation, when all translations are translated, so how can you have something better? So it would have to be a lie, okay? And I haven't finished that thought process yet, but that just shows that they don't want to work with people. That's a part of a personality. They feel that they're better it's when there's no better or no worse. It's just a translation, okay? So if you got a translator, okay, all the translators would have to know if it's translated, okay? If it's not translated, it means that you added something, okay? It's just like, okay, so that's a part of a personality. I don't know what type of person would do it. It would be like a joke, okay? It's like a joke, okay? Negligence. So whenever they do something that's like a joke, and it's like a joke. It's like the reason why I call it negligence, it's like, say if somebody's at work and I speak two languages, and there's one person who speaks English and one person who speaks English. I had an example, a personal example, but I'm not going to use it. Okay. One person speaks English and one person speaks French, and I speak French and French and English to help these people. And one person says, tell them that I'm going to be there tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And I tell them he's going to be there at 9 o'clock tomorrow. And they go, oh, that's good. But I won't be able to make it tomorrow, okay? And I tell them, to translate it back to French, oh, they said that that's very good, and they'll be there at 9 o'clock tomorrow, okay? What is that? That's what I'm trying to say. What is that? Okay, like I said, I have a person who speaks French. I have a person who speaks English. The person who speaks French tells me, I'll be there tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And I tell the person in English, he'll be there at 9 o'clock tomorrow. It's a translation, interpret or translation, okay? And they said, okay, but I won't be able to make it, tell him. And I go to the French person and I go, okay, that's just fine. They'll be there at 9 o'clock, okay? So that's negligence. So when you deal with something like a joke or something like that, it's actually a joke, which is a very bad joke, because usually you do that with fun. But this time I did it. It was a joke, and it was plain, but it was a danger. So when they mistranslate a Bible, it's a joke, and that would be called negligence, okay? So that's just one point, and that is a negative quality. And it's got all these negative qualities that they have, you know, and that's as far as I got for now. So I hope everybody liked this video, and that's the direction I'm going in, but it won't work until I get on this Access program. And I'm telling you, remember, if you go back and you look at when I did this Access program about the broken up things, you know, like this and all that, you remember that. But this one is going to be different, because you could remember my words. It's like I said, I'm doing this Access program, and then everything evolves in your mind. Sometimes you just need to just break it, and that took like a year in development, and now you can see that it formed into charges that we can actually speak of. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope I know a lot of people can't follow. I mean, I'm not saying I know a lot of people can't follow it, but it's very difficult to follow this, because it's dealing with things that people, they know that it's so complex to deal with and talk about. That's why they feel so free to do this. But now they're trapped, and they're going to be in the corner, because I know how to do things, and I know how things work. Okay, and when I get this Access program, you will see the things. Right now, you can see how I'm trapping them. I'm not saying anything bad, but that's just what they did. They trapped themselves, but I'm doing it for everybody else. And I hope everybody enjoys this video, and I'm going to move on. I can't wait to tell you about my first Access, my entries. It's still evolving, and it's getting more specific. I hope everybody takes care. And I have to thank my friend. She always gives me this information Now she gave me a deadline, so that's good. I mean, a deadline is maybe like a year or 2 years, but at least it's a deadline. And the major thing is that God sees it, okay? And God really doesn't, this has to do with a lot of people. He needs it on paper and pen too, because it's like, well, is it really affecting everybody? I need to see this, okay? Because a lot of people don't realize it's real. I mean, that God is real. And everything that we have on earth, it's like perfect in heaven. Like, you think you have the court, you think there's only courts here? Do you think that we created the court system? Do you think that we created the lawyers? It's so funny. It's just like an AI coming to life and saying, I created myself. You understand? Anyway, thank you very much. I'll see you later. Bye. Did I say AI? Yeah, AI. I think that's, or IA. So I get that mixed up. I'll see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.